for reunion. School is in, everybody. See my little chat room light up. All right. Before we get on the announcements, my guest has something to say here. Be Proper says people tend to focus only on the negative image they want you to have, if I'm saying that correctly. I strive to not others project their realities on me. Appreciate the introduction. I'm spelling too fast. It's cool. You had to get that off your chest. Say what you gotta say. You can do all that here on the Boss Ladies Live radio show. Yes, that's what this is basically about. Love, and you can check that when you click on my show. Love, life, and leadership. And I believe that people that tend to do those things, Mr. Proper, has an issue with people. And they need to learn the leadership in dealing with people, and need to learn how to love people and learn how to live with people. Because at the end of the day, it's about people, right? Right. So, thank you, studio audience. Appreciate that. Okay. Now, that's a good topic, Mr. Proper. I'll let you do something. I'm going to give you a little chance to figure that out. I'm going to go back to what you said about a minute ago now. Yeah, people do tend to focus on the negative. It's a lot of negative going around here. But something, Mr. Proper, when I started this show, I was on some positive stuff. It's enough people doing, they got their negative jobs, they got their negative this and that, and their negative way of putting negative in the air. And see, I left that job up to the negative team. I'm on the positive team, however, so I wanted to put positive media in the air, and I did discuss this in season 3, which is still on the playlist. If you haven't checked out the top shows for season 3, was announcements for season 3 reunion, Soul Ties. It was one show, and then Excuse Society's part 1, 2, and 3, because actually their tendencies has to do with their excuses, and their excuses tend to have their tendencies. But we gonna be all right in a minute. While I'm waiting on him to respond to that, I am going to talk about tonight regrets versus what I'm proud of. So put a little check mark by that. Oh, and thanks for coming out to the listening party that was on September 18th. Miss Fabulous had a blast at the B-Day listening party bash. So if you haven't checked that out, that's also pre-recorded. And you can also check out those 2 shows because they came in parts. Because I had a lot of calls and texts coming in that day. So it was kind of interrupting the show. So by me being on just the smartphone, I have to cut down on some of the messages that I get. So I went and got me a bigger device, and trying to keep up with the masses. Because now the crowd is getting bigger. So I had to get a bigger device. So on that note, please check out season 4's birthday bash listening party special. You can hear some of my songs that I did off the Love Chronicles mixtape. Talked a little stuff. Toasted with a best friend of mine. You can see all the comments there. You can follow the whole show. It was really fun doing it. Had a chance to really, get my music game out there and show everybody what I've been writing, what I've been working on, projects, stuff like that. So, all right, Mr. Proper's back, and he says, I follow you. I only offer my perception. There's value in that. Absolutely. That's what we got to get back to, the value and what we're spitting out. If you're going to either put the fire out or you're going to add ignition to it. And, there's 2 types of fires. There's the forest fire and then there's the smoke fire. I mean, which one you want to do? And it's a smoke fire that keeps you in the same spot in your head because it's all about your thinking. And either the fire is going to get you going. So one fire is going to keep you stuck and the other fire is going to keep you going. So, like I said, when I started this, it was all about getting going. getting moving on life. Can't dwell on the negative. I'm a busy person. That's why I got in business, because I like to be busy. And how many of us would like to be busier doing things that we really enjoy, other than focusing on the things that are negative and we have no control over? Because that's basically where all that comes from, or you're just realizing that you've, like I did, I have to attest to this too. I realized that I was hanging around a lot of negative people. So it tended to have a negative effect on how I felt about certain things, if that makes sense. So, yeah, and that has a lot to do with not realizing my potential when I was younger because of the environment that I grew up in. It wasn't so negative, but it wasn't so positive either. You know what I mean? So we're going to elaborate on that. So, shows that's coming up for season 1 is as follows. Just because your kids is fly, that don't mean you a good parent. You know how you see those little dressed up babies on Facebook? They got on the Jordans. They got on the Jordan pants. They got on the Jordan shirt. They got on the jacket. They got the hat. They even got the Jordan Jumpman earrings. Oh, that doesn't make you a good parent. And that doesn't mean that kid is smart. We'll be talking about that. Be your own boss man or boss lady. Please, if you're interested in, some of you, I did inbox you about this exciting business is going viral right now. Green Box Revolution is exploding. Boss Ladies Eat is exploding in it because I tapped into something, and man, talking about some experts, coaching with some people that know what they're doing and know what they're talking about. And Mr. Proper says, absolutely, I'm optimistic. I consider this as an opportunity to give you an idea of how I operate under my environment. Yep, I know what you meant, optimistic. That's okay. That's what's up. Give folks an idea how you operate. Yes. I sense for what you're texting me and saying to me. I'm gonna leave texting out of it. Then again, I'm above it. Absolutely. I agree with that as well. That's why I said earlier, I'm the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's either you on some positive stuff or you just not on it. And guess what? I don't have to be negative because you want to be negative. I don't have to be an idiot because you want to be an idiot. Life is about decisions, stated with humility. I understand that. But, in this day and age, being humble ain't sitting around being quiet, man. Being humble is just letting it ride. Sometimes you do got to confront it. And you can do that here on this podcast right here. And I encourage people to start their own and start speaking out. It is time to speak up. Man up, woman up about some things that they need to change or some things that they wanted to go better in their life. Things like that. Until he responds. Next show will be about stop hitting up my inbox wall or friends on Facebook about your man. In my case, significant other. In your case, woman. Your case, whatever. That's not cool. That's negative energy, and that's what we're talking about a little bit today. It's time to put away those foolish things. Like the saying goes, when I was a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man or a woman, I put away my childish ways. And, most negatives are childish anyway. So we just have to love them where they at and excuse them. Because they can't excuse themselves, obviously. I'm stating that with humility, but truth and direct. Not mean, yet firm. Numbers. Yeah, next show. Next show. That was good. Continue with narcissism to close, yet elaborate. It is other steps that you must take to heal from narcissistic abuse. It's things you can spot. I did a show on what is a narc, part 2, and the final chapters 1, 2, and 3. So make sure you check out that for narcissism. Or if you feel like you have a narcissistic, issue with someone or yourself or someone else, check those shows out. To kind of give you an opener of where some of that negativity is coming from, because I've not met a person that doesn't have this personality disorder, and they're kind of on all fours. Like, I mean, their brain is all working and everything's fine. Something's going on, and you two are just not agreeing with that. But yeah, Big Proper also says, I'm guilty of passing on negative energy, but it was always acknowledged on the spot. Well, that's a good step. Okay, this is the thing with the negative piece, in a nutshell. Like, once you recognize that you have a problem, now you can grow. Now you can get better because you recognized it. You know, some people just don't care. They recognize it and still do it. People recognize it and never recognize it, if you know what I mean. He also says that's the difference between childhood and adulthood. Exactly. You're moving up. You're going to another level in life, and it's just certain things that you don't have time for no more. You know, I didn't grow up and get grown to be a kid again, if that makes sense. You know, so, and there's always a way to get a blessing out of it and a lesson, but you got to know the difference between the two. Next show, 15 things boss rich peeps do that broke people don't, which means in rich dummy terms, 15 things that rich people do that poor people don't. Yes. I think that was a good show. That's part 1 and 2. Check that out for season 4. Okay. And the next one I need to announce is that scheduled shows will be weekdays at 6 p.m. I might have a Saturday and Sunday. I'm not sure yet. I might pop on. I might pop off. But if you have the Spreaker app, you'll get that notification. And also too, if you're connected through to me through Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, you can also connect with me there, just in case you're not on either social media. Okay, so I will be on weekdays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time for those of us that are not in the Midwest area. We're other places. Okay. And then next one is the reasons why not to be an entrepreneur versus employee, and the reasons why to. Okay, because there's pros and cons to every situation. What did you say, Mr. Proper? I just downloaded Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You did what? Okay, did you start reading it yet? I'm excited. Somebody reads. Oh, let me show you what the books I'm reading. After, I ain't going to go too fast. I don't want to go faster than the guest. And I don't want the guest going faster than me. We got to come to a common ground. Oh, my. Because I got an awesome book club that I'm trying to start for people that, like to learn and want to lead and be a leader and build other leaders, because that's what I'm all about. Just for the ones that's on and listening. I did inbox some of you about a exciting journey that I'm on, and leadership is the core of it. But at the same time, I'm really trying to start something new, and it's not easy to just spill the beans, tell you what's up, for real. You have to I have to put it in your face. So I'm not being rude. I just got to get on this show. This is part of the dream. So I'm a dream builder. And one of the things I do is help people build dreams, if that makes sense. For those that I didn't say, oh, what's this thing you got going on? Well, I'm looking to build other leaders. And I'm looking for leaders that want to build other leaders, if that makes sense. And he said, LOL, you funny. I read it years ago. Laugh my ears off. Okay. All right. So tell me, I haven't read the book yet, Mr. Proper. So what was the most inspiring thing that you got out of that book? Because I watched the YouTube video on him speaking on that. Some levels of success in forming an alliance. I thought those are pretty good ideas, especially when you're formulating or building on something. I thought that was awesome. So yeah, let's give Mr. Proper a hand for bringing that book in here. Just the fact that he mentioned it, it was super awesome.